Last time, I played Pokemon X and Y, and I thought it was starters, Fairy types and Mega Evolution. They are both incredible. In the main story, only 3 trainers use Mega Evolutions, but none of these are that big of a problem when the story exists. If I had to give it a rating, it would have to be a 6 or a 7. I liked some things but had many problems with the writing. It's a flawed game, but I did enjoy playing it. Next up on the list, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Okay. Pokemon fans will know this, but Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon are different. Gameplay is tweaked and the story is different in some places. It's not just a straight upgrade. In fact, I've seen people dislike the changed story elements of Ultra. So why did I choose the Ultra versions when I clearly care about the writing in games? From what I can tell, Ultra is the better game in every way except the story. More Pokemon, more content. So in the words of Reggie, if it's not fun, why bother? We're heading back to the 3DS and to the region of Alola as I form my own opinion on Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. I'll be honest, I rarely hear any good things about this game, so expectations aren't high. Sun and Moon released on the 18th of November 2016. It was the fastest selling Nintendo game in America. Since then, it's been overtaken by, take a guess. That's right, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The Ultra versions released shortly afterwards on the 17th of November 2017, exactly 1 year later. The games were received pretty well critically. Sun and Moon scored an 87 on Metacritic, with the Ultra versions scoring 84. I chose Pokemon Ultra Moon because I actually don't remember why. I like the version exclusives of Ultra Sun more. I think I picked Moon because I liked the design of Lunala more. It took me 44 hours to beat the main story, and as of recording, I'm currently at 65 hours. I have Ultra Sun on my older 3DS, and I'm working towards a complete Pokédex, which I've never done before. This might give away my thoughts on the game, huh? The game generally doesn't stray too far from the previous games, but there are some drastic changes. Notably, there are no gyms and there are no HMs. As for new features, Sun and Moon introduced regional forms, Z moves, Pokefinder, and expanded greatly on Ride Pokemon. Let's get into it. Just like the game, I'm gonna front load this review with the negatives. XP share. Yeah, I talked about this in my XY video. I thought it wasn't as bad, but it still makes the game a cakewalk for the most part. Moving on, one of the biggest issues with the game is something I've never done: holding hands. It's a very prevalent complaint I've seen for the newer Pokemon games, that the gameplay is very hand-holdy. I can't help but agree. The beginning of the game is especially egregious. Walk 2 steps, Hal shows up. Walk 2 steps, he shows up again. Walk 2 steps, Professor Kukui shows up. It feels like you can't walk 10 steps without being interrupted. It just throws so much dialogue at you and breaks up the flow. I just want to explore and go see the Pokemon. You know, the star of the show. Leave me alone! It gets better, but it leaves a bad initial impression. The game is also incredibly linear. Many routes are actually just straight or curved lines with a few patches of grass and some trainers. You might argue that all Pokemon games are linear. There's only one path forward. Yeah, that's also like every game. The thing is, there's side exploration to be had in the past games. There are some here, but they're few and far between. In the previous games, you go one route to progress the main story, or you could explore a whole optional area. Ultra Sun and Moon just strips this sense of exploration. I think the best example would be caves. In older games, caves feel like one big maze. There are many branching paths with stairs leading to different places, ladders to go up and down levels. You might fall down holes. You have puzzles to solve. Some items and areas are locked behind HMs. It's a daunting task for a 6-year-old, but it also provides a sense of challenge and rewards curiosity. Of course, there's only one path to progress the story, but it always feels rewarding to go out of your way to fully scout out each area. In this game, everything is laid bare. There's rarely anything to explore, and that really sucks. Every route feels the same. There's nothing memorable about any of them, really. It's a step down even from X and Y. That's kinda all the bad I have to say about the game. But I also want to talk about the removal of HMs. There are many arguments for this change. You no longer have to waste move slots. I remember having Rock Climb and Rock Smash on my Infernape. I think my Swampert had Surf, Waterfall, and Dive in Omega Ruby. You no longer have to keep less than ideal moves on your Pokemon. It's a good change. This might be nostalgia speaking, but I didn't really mind HMs. I beat Heart Gold and White not too long ago, and I kinda like having HMs. It adds more depth maybe? Certainly not to the level of needing free water HMs though. I think I am clouded by nostalgia. HMs shaped my team compositions. I always have a water type. I need a flying type so I can use Fly. I need the ground type so I can use Dig. Can't say I hate the change. The right Pokemon are basically these HMs. Tauros is Rock Smash, Lapras is Surf, Charizard is Fly, Machamp is Strength, Mudsdale is Rock Climb on the ground, Sharpedo is Rock Smash in the water, and Stoutland is the Dowsing Machine? Let's delve into the good, and I'll be honest, I kinda adore this game. Game Freak clearly puts lots of love in the game. There are many novel ideas. Ride Pokemon as I just discussed, Pokepelago, Pokemon Refresh, eating malasadas with your Pokemon, Mantine surfing, Pokefinder, which is like a mini Pokemon Snap, going through the Ultra Wormholes, and the big one, regional forms. I think they all add to the gameplay and it just oozes with fun and joy. C moves are whatever. You get to use one powerful move per battle and it's fine. The animations are pretty lengthy, but some Pokemon do get unique C moves. I never found myself using them that much, to be honest. Mega Evolution is still the better mechanic. Now, please allow me to worship regional forms. This is the best thing they added since Fairy types. It's a really fun way to revitalize older Pokemons. I love it so much. Alolan Raichu, Sandshrew, Ninetales, Muk, Marowak. Mwah! I love them all so much. Alolan Raichu has quickly become my favorite electric type. Animals evolve and change based on their surroundings, and regional forms are basically showing this. We're in Hawaii now. Raichu evolving to ride on its tail as a surfboard? That's incredible. Alola being the perfect environment for a palm tree-like Exeggutor to grow? That checks out. Marowak possessing cursed fire because it's their mother spirit? That's metal as hell. To me, this truly shows how different each region could be, which is why the progression is also different. I've seen people complain about the removal of gyms, and I gotta say, I disagree. I think this is very fitting. Think about it. Different regions have to operate differently, right? The first 4 generations are based on regions in Japan, and hey, Kanto and Johto are connected. Makes sense both regions would have gyms. Hoenn and Sinnoh are also based on Japan. Unova is New York, Kalos is France. Now we're in Hawaii, which in the real world is pretty far away from most places, being in the middle of the Pacific. It follows that the Alola region would also be quite different. Now, I'm not well versed in Hawaiian culture, but it seems they took a lot of inspiration from Hawaii and I love it. From the music to how the characters look, talk, and act, it all feels very fitting. And instead of challenging gyms, you take on the trials of captains and battle the kahuna of each island. I enjoy this. It's something new. It's not just fight 6 trainers that use this specific type of Pokemon and then challenge the gym leader. Mallow and Acerola's trial stood out to me. I know, you're not doing a lot of battling, but like Kiawe's trial, you can feel the unique culture and tradition of Alola that Game Freak crafted for this game. My big complaints for X and Y was the story, and I have good news. The story for Sun and Moon is pretty good actually. The trials aren't mind-blowing, but it feels like everyone is friends with each other. When I think of Hawaii, I do think unity. The people of the Alola region are connected and working as one, relying on each other. The main focus of the story is of course Lily and the Ether Foundation. I'm not gonna spoil it here unlike what I did for XY because I genuinely enjoyed it. Gladion is a surprisingly likable rival with an amazing theme, by the way. I know people dislike Hao, but you know what? He's a silly little goober. I love him. Lily's probably my second favorite Pokemon character behind N. I'll also note that I enjoy the changes to Lily's arc in the Ultra versions. I like Lucamine, and I also didn't hate Team Skull and Gusma. And that scene with Necrozma? Oh, it's good. But don't think the game ends when you roll credits. The fun is just beginning. The post-game kept me hooked. Still tons of Pokemon to encounter. The Tapus, jumping through the Ultra wormholes to get the legendaries and Ultra beasts. Episode Rainbow Rocket, which is just pure nostalgia bait. Re-challenging the Pokemon League and having to defend your title from new challengers. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I started up Ultra Sun so I can complete my Pokedex. I've never done that barring Legends Arceus. And in that game, you can complete it yourself without trading. I know I said the game is easy, and it is for the most part. But there were actually a few fights that gave me trouble. That might just be my team though. Gusma's Jellicipod left a great first impression. Ultra Necrozma almost one-shotting all my Pokemon. Totem Marowak and Ribombee challenged me a bit. The double battle right before the battle tree, and Red or Blue. Overall, I had a ton of fun. I was a bit burnt out during mid-game, but that's when the story started to pick up and hooked me right back in. Good story and characters, a fun game once you get past the initial hand-holdy hours. I don't know why this game gets dumped on so much. I had a great time and am still having a great time. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, you get a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Next time is the N64 tree. Yep, Pokemon Sword and Shield. 6 years ago, little old me put my foot down and said, "I'm not giving you my money, Mr. Game Freak. You removed the National Dex." Like I ever cared about that. I did not move on to Pokemon Sword and Shield because they did the shiny legendary distribution for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, so I actually started that up first. And also today's the launch day of Legends Set 2A, so I doubt Sword and Shield is next. Alright, that's enough yapping.
Some days, wanna put you